Well, we can get some more analysis of the situation on the ground in Ukraine. With me again in the studio is the military expert and veteran British Army tank commander Justin Crump. He's also chief executive of Civiline. Justin, always good to have you back in here with us. We were watching Alex Crawford's report there from Severodonetsk. Russian forces still pushing into it. Is it just a matter of time, really, before they've taken over the Donbass?
There's still quite a few variables on that, I think. And we've seen Russia go from this plan of obviously taking large swathes of countryside quickly to try and take more moderate swathes of the Donbass, and now really focusing very much on this eastern end of the Donbass and Luhansk Oblast in particular, and Severodonetsk, as we've seen there. So I wouldn't call this a Russian breakthrough that we've seen so far, but it's certainly some of the biggest advances they've achieved in the last couple of months. Still measured in maybe a mile or two a day on average. So pretty limited, but the focus on Severodonetsk, wrong side of the river for Ukraine. The river is a really important battlefield feature, makes it harder to defend. A really important area actually is to the west on the high ground here for now. And of course, Ukraine just trying to keep supplies open from the other cities to the west, but coming under pressure all around this area. So it's slow and steady for Russia, but they are grinding forwards. I wouldn't, again, call it a breakthrough, but they are grinding forwards. And we're in a race to see which side can sustain that longer and how much price, really, Ukraine can make Russia pay for every metre.
Yeah, well, President Zelensky saying that even if he does get it, great swathes of it are going to be uninhabitable.
Yes, and I think you've seen the destruction there in Severodonetsk. About 90% of the population have left. This area largely evacuated by Ukraine 2 months ago when it became clear it would be the focus of the Russian advance. But many people just have nowhere else to go, as we saw there. So, I mean, a huge tragedy unfolding for them. And it will get worse as we move towards Sloviansk, Kramatorsk in due course.
Now, let's talk about weapons, because there are reports that the US is going to be sending some long-range weapons to Ukraine. Now, there's long-range weapons and there's long-range weapons.
There are, yeah. And so I think we have a picture coming up of one of the systems that's being talked about from the US side. So this is the MLRS. This is it in Dutch service. It's a multiple rocket launch system. The UK uses these as well, and these might be systems that are sent to Ukraine from the UK that Liz Truss was just discussing there. It can be fitted, though, with different types of rockets. And I think that's where the confusion's lying about, is it a 300-kilometre system or is it a 70-kilometre system? And I think what Ukraine really needs is the 70-kilometre system that allows it, which is what you see here, that allows it to strike Russian supplies a little bit further away than it can at the moment. It's much more effective for them. I think the very long-range missile Ukraine won't be given because that is probably quite provocative towards Russia. I think that's on that unwritten line that we're concerned about crossing in terms of how much support it would be seen as too much by Russia and prompt them to react further. So for now, it's really focused on this area. I think they want that sort of artillery. It's an artillery war, really, to grind forward this way, and that's why Ukraine's focused on these systems, and we're focused on sending them to them.
OK, all right, Justin, thank you.